Recording. Power 104.1, the source. This is Tate Jones on the microphone. Say it with me now, Memphis. Tate Jones.
Tate Jones
on the microphone. And again, today we have a very special guest with us today. We got Miss Gwendolyn Woods, who again is the first African American female CEO of the Boys and Girls Club of Memphis. Welcome in, Miss Woods.
Thanks for having me.
I'm more than happy to have you here. We go back a long way, you know. We was at the University of Memphis together.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember you from back then being a stunning athlete. And, you know, since then, I'm not sure what has happened in your life, but I know at the current time you have made history in the city of Memphis with this new position that you have. Do you mind telling us a little about it?
Right, yeah. So I'm the first woman, black or white or otherwise, CEO of Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Memphis. So I'm super excited about the opportunity to lead such an amazing organization.
Great, great. You know, when I first moved to Memphis, when I was attending the University of Memphis, the first job I ever had was at the Samuelson Boys and Girls Club.
Really?
Really?
With Veloff?
Veloff was the administrator at that point.
Yeah, I used to be the club director at our Samuelson too.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. We found out a lot of stuff
I
here
know.
today. Yeah, I remember that, and one of the reasons that I got my lifeguard license, you know, when I was at the University of Memphis, is because they asked me to be over the pool. So I remember taking the lifeguarding class, and something that the teacher said to me that stuck out in my mind. She said, you know, I hope you stay with this class because we don't have a lot of African American students that participate in, you know, swimming classes. So I did that. I was excited, you know, got a chance to work with the kids a whole lot myself. And then, you know, that summer when I went home, I actually became a community lifeguard down there in Jackson, Tennessee. Wow. Small world.
It's a very small. My line sister actually used to work in the biology room at Iris Samuelson, and now she's a doctor. So great things started at the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. So tell us exactly what is your role as CEO at the Memphis Boys and Girls Club now?
All right, so I am, as you said, the CEO of Boys and Girls Club, and kind of my job to make sure that I have a vision that is in the best interest of the youth in our city that participate in our program. And I rally the troops and try to build up the morale around our organization and gather support, because we do a lot of amazing work, but without the financial support, without the support from people like you and I and businesses, we cannot do the work, because it takes money. Just like at church, you get a good word and then it's offering time. So it's giving time, and we need people to give their time, talents, and to our organization so that we can make a great impact on our kids. I've been with the organization about 9.5 years. As I just said, I was a club director, and then I was a training liaison. I got promoted to chief operating officer about 3 years ago. And when our CEO left, I thought about what we wanted in a new CEO, and I thought that I possessed those skills. I wanted someone who loved the city of Memphis, who had a passion for the kids in our community, who could relate to the kids, because I too was one of those kids in the city that needed an outlet and support outside of my home. And so when I thought about the things that we wanted, somebody that really wanted to work hard, I thought I need to apply for that job. And after rounds and rounds of interview, I'm glad that they decided to go with a Memphian who is me. And I pray that I do an amazing job.
I think that definitely deserves a round of applause. That is amazing. That's phenomenal. 9.5 years with the organization, and now you in the top position. Oh wow, that is great. Now tell me a little bit about that interview process. When you said that, I'm like, man, that had to be very tedious. And I'm pretty sure, just like a lot of times in Memphis, when they look for a CEO or a top position, they do searches way outside of Memphis.
Right. So they opened up as I guess nationwide search, and the finalist was between me and someone else that was not in the state. But I think that they were a good candidate as well. And, you know, I did the best. I did my research. I had did the work, and if I had not gotten the job, it was not because I was ill prepared. But hey, they picked me, and I think that they made the right choice. I think a lot of people are excited to have someone as passionate as I am in the lead seat.
Now, let me ask you this: being in that position, is that a role that that has a certain amount of a term, like years, or you continue as the company grow, or?
No, it's not term. It's not like a mayor,
Okay.
right? So it's just like any other job. You do have a contract.
Okay.
And if you're not meeting those expectations, then they can probably decide to vote you out.
Okay.
So we have a board that I report to.
Okay.
But no, it's not contract. As long as I do a really good job, this should be my.
Well, I tell you what, here at Power 104, we're here for you. We're going to support you in every way. And what I mean with that is financially and as well as awareness. Because one thing with this radio station, you are able to get your voice out. You know, because if there are any kind of PSAs that we need to run on the station, we are open to that, to come out to do any fundraisers, to show up at any events. We are here for you.
I like that. Well, speaking of events.
Okay.
We have our annual fundraiser. It's called the Steak and Burger. It's our big fundraising event. And our keynote speaker is Isaac Bruce.
Oh, wow.
Isaac
I remember Isaac Bruce.
Yeah, former University of Memphis athlete,
Yes.
Hall of Fame, NFL Hall of Fame. And so I'm excited that he's going to be our keynote speaker, come out. So if you haven't bought your ticket, hey, it's April the 27th at 6 p.m. You can go to bgcm.org and purchase a ticket, come and support. That's how we do the work that we're supposed to. We're able to allow kids to come to our program for $10 or free. And that's because we do fundraisers like this, because it costs $1,200 per kid a year for the programming that we do. But because of donations and people who donate their time and their money, we're able to do it for $10. So this is a great opportunity to support the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Memphis by simply donating or buying a ticket. If you cannot buy a ticket, you can always go to our website and sign up. $5, $10 are monthly givers. Or if you want to be a volunteer, this is a great time to be connected to our organization.
Okay, well, give us that website or phone number or email address that they can reach out to you to be a part of.
Okay. The website is www.bgcm.org. Again, that's www.bgcm.org. And our address, 44 South Brimber. That's where we could be located. And my email address is Gwendolyn, GWENDOLYNW @bgcm.org. And if you forget those initials, stand for Boys and Girls Clubs of Memphis. So it's bgcm.org. So
me personally, I know a lot of times I use the AI, Google. So if they want to just Google something, can they just Google like Boys and Girls Club of Memphis?
Mm-hmm. Boys and Girls Club of Memphis, of Greater Memphis. But if you BGCM Boys and Girls Club of Memphis, will pop up.
Okay, that is great.
We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, so we're easy to find.
They're easy to find. And again, that date is April the 27th. That's on Sunday.
22nd, it's on a Tuesday.
22nd. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm so happy to hear about that, because I had a previous engagement on April the 27th.
Mm-hmm.
But the 22nd, I definitely could make that.
All right.
Definitely could make that. And if y'all have any commercials ready, or we need to make a commercial, I'm definitely ready to put it on the air to get that awareness out for you. Now, early in the conversation, you mentioned you should have a vision. Can you kind of give us your vision of what you would like to see the Boys and Girls Club do during your tenure?
Yeah, well, first of all, I think that a lot of people are aware of Boys and Girls Club,
mm-hmm.
but they're not really aware of what we do.
Okay.
So one thing, my vision is to spread awareness about who we are, where we are, and what we do. So things like this, having small conversations with people to spread awareness. A lot of people don't know that we have 19 sites across the city of Memphis.
Wow.
11 of those are in high school sites, and we focus on job readiness. So for those kids that are not going to go to college, we try to give you an opportunity to learn some soft skills. And we partner with our technical training center where they're able to learn welding, culinary arts, logistics. So you have certificates so that once you complete our program, you're able to go out and get a job. We have sites inside of our Promise Academy, Hollywood and Spring Hill. And we have traditional sites that kids can come. Did you know that we have a studio inside of one of our clubs?
I did not.
Kids can produce their own music, record their own music for absolutely free. And all you have to do is be a member of Boys and Girls Club. And so those who don't know what we do, or if we are not in your particular area, how can we partner with community centers and other areas so the services that we do provide, that we're able to provide those to the kids who need us most. So number one, spread awareness. Number two, after that awareness, how can we get you to support our organization? How do we turn that curiosity into support? So that's my main focus right now, is to get the word out and get support.
And that's what we're going to do here at Power 104, get that word out. But speaking of the word, what I'd like to know is ages. What is the earliest age that a person or a child could be involved with the Boys or Girls Club of Memphis?
So we serve kids 6 to 18. Now we do have some 5-year-olds that are in kindergarten. So if you're in kindergarten, you can come to our Boys and Girls Club. We have after school programs, and we stay up from 2 to 8 p.m.
Oh, that's great.
So we assist with homework. A lot of people think that we're just a community center, but I like to say that we're a community center on steroids. So after school, we help with homework. We have career and life planning. We have financial literacy, computer literacy. We have triple play that focus on health and wellness, and sports. We have sports teams. So if you didn't make your high school basketball team, no worries. We have a basketball team at the Boys and Girls Club, soccer, baseball. We have all these sports. We have all this after school. So after school, you get help with your homework. You learn, you have a session that you're learning, but we try to make sure that it's so much fun and engaging that the kids don't really realize, don't feel like they're in school. And we feed you. So it's a free meal. We served almost 350,000 meals alone last year. So by the time they go home, they're through with their homework, they're fed, and they get to just enjoy the time with their parents.
Man, that is great. Now, when a person wants to bring their child to be a part of the Boys and Girls Club, is there any kind of fee for that? Or what is the process of becoming a member?
So it's $10 a year for our organization. However, if a kid does not have $10, we do not turn you around.
All right.
We will scholarship you in, and that's the importance of supporting Boys and Girls Club through the donations, because of those amazing donations and support, we're able to scholarship kids in. So don't not show up because you don't have $10 we want you to have. You do fill out an application because we track the information. So if you were in Power Hour, or if you were in a financial literacy or computer literacy class, or any class that we have, conflict resolution, we track it. So I know that Johnny was inside of our conflict resolution class, and so we're able to track that. So is he making better decisions at the end of that semester? So it's one application. We just need the information for safety reasons, because we need to know who's inside of our building.
I agree. I definitely agree about that. And so now, is this something they had to come in physically and do? Can they fill out the application online?
So you do have to come in physically and do it. Now, at our high school sites, we do have a QR code at those particular sites. But if you don't go to that high school, then outsiders cannot come to their particular locations. So you do have to come in. Then $10 cover from January to May and August to December. It's a one-time $10, but it does not cover our summer camp. So summer camp is $150. And April the 3rd, we're partnering with WREG, and we're having a donation day. And the reason why we're doing that is because we want to collect fees so that we can have money for summer camp for those who cannot afford summer camp. That we're getting ahead of the curve and making sure that we collect money so that those kids who can't, the parents that can't afford for their kids to go to summer camp can be allowed to attend our summer camp. I love summer camp at Boys and Girls Club. It's one of my favorites.
Well, I tell you what, we would like to be part of it as well, because whatever we need to do to be a part of it as well. I have a separate one. I would like to raise funds for the Boys and Girls Club.
I love that. Thank you so much.
Oh, more than welcome. Because I remember when I was young, down in Jackson, Tennessee, we had the NYSP program, which was at Lane College. Okay. So that was a summer program I loved. And I remember going to parks in the summertime, that was funded by the city, and they had lunches and everything. Kids had things to do. So we definitely are going to jump on board and have a day where we raise funds, where all those funds go exclusively to the Boys and Girls Club to help out with that summer program. Because I know that is very important. Because as long as we keep kids busy and give them something to do that they really enjoy, that could keep them out of the streets.
Right.
Because we know, here in Memphis, just like a lot of places around the country, The crime rate is pretty bad. So, and I know a lot of those organized crimes that I would say are gangs. They reach out to the children when they're young, and if they don't have anything to do, there they are in the streets. But here's an opportunity right now for the parents, grandparents, friends, brothers, mothers to get out here and become a part of this Girls and Boys Club of Memphis. And as Glenn said, that she's a product of that herself. You know, I'm a product of that myself because actually, out of Jackson, Tennessee, hey, I learned how to swim at the Boys and Girls Club. And Jack, so I mean that stuck with me for a long time. And I can tell you right now, there's a lot of us that cannot swim.
I know. I can swim like a fish, though. I can swim. I'm pretty good. As you mentioned, crime. So 62% of violent crimes happen after school. Oh, wow. And what I'm so proud about Boys and Girls Club is that we're a solution to that. We provide a safe, encouraging environment for kids to go to after school from 2 to 8 p.m. So, you know, the reason why we got to keep the money coming in because we have 19 sites and those sites have to be funded. So as long as we have in our high school sites, there's 3,500 teenagers that have a safe place to go after school. 3,500
teenagers. And I'm not sure if you know the stats or not, because I remember one time, I think Memphis, Shelby County, Memphis City Schools was like number 10 in the country. Do you know what they ranked for as the biggest education system?
I don't.
But I'm pretty sure they're at least in the top 20. Mm-hmm. And 3,500 kids, I mean, that's a lot. That's saying a lot. That's saying a whole lot. And I know we can get more than that. We can get double that, you know, as long as we get the awareness out there. Because like I said, I'm going to pledge to make sure that we are constantly talking about the Girls and the Boys Club every day, every week on this station, because I want the word to be out there. You know, we're a newer station right now, being on the air only 9 months, but we have a huge following because the type of music and program we have, a lot of people like it, and they say, hey, this is so fresh and this is new to us. So that's why I reached out to you, because I was so proud of you for getting the position, first of all, and I know I have a history of the Girls and Boys Club. Matter of fact, over there at the Samson Boys Club, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Chris Garner, he went over there to that particular boys club. Right. So I want to say Elliot Perry went over there to that particular boys club.
And Anthony Hardaway.
And Anthony Hardaway, yeah. So I know, you know, coming from a small town, Jackson, Tennessee, that basketball was huge here in Memphis.
Still is. Did you know Chris Garner still works for the Boys and Girls? Did you know he works
I did not know that.
Right. So when I was hired at Ira Sampson Boys and Girls Club, my first hire was Chris Garner.
Really?
He was a program director, but now he's a club director at our Craigmont location.
Okay.
He has about 300 kids that come in their program after. He's doing an amazing job. That club was one of the reasons why we expanded our high school sites. They're doing really great. I mean, we took 5,000 kids from the high schools to on a college tour. So the partnership with Shelby County Schools that many people are probably not aware of. We help with their OSHA 10 certifications. We do a lot of things that people, you know, like I said, they're not aware, and that's why we got to do a better job letting people know the work that we do. But Chris Garner is doing an amazing job.
That's great.
And I like his story because he grew up as a Boys and Girls Club kid.
Right.
He went off to college. Chris Garner is also in the Hall of Fame. And he could be doing a lot of things, but he's so passionate about the kids that we serve that he still works in that club, and we appreciate him.
That's great. Let me get into another one of my stories from my time at the Ira Sampson Boys Club. Of course, I was in school at that point at University of Memphis, and I decided to have a Black History program. And so it actually was the first ever Black History program they had at the club. And I picked out certain kids that wanted to participate, to sing, do poetry. And I remember one particular guy, he really didn't have anything to do, but he went home, came back in a full 3-piece suit because he wanted to be involved in that program. Now, I had a class with Willie Goff's wife. Mm-hmm. And Willie Goff was a Kansas City chief at that point. And he was supposed to be the guest speaker, but at the last minute, he wasn't able to make it. But we actually didn't miss him because the kids put on a show. I remember Mr. Veloff that's sitting there looking. He was excited because we never had anything like that before. But for that particular child to go home, clean up, put on a suit, and come back, I definitely found something for him to do that day because I couldn't tell you where he is now, but I'm sure they had a dramatic impact on his life by being a part of something. And that's what kids want to be. That's why they join these gangs, because they want to be a part of something. And we got something right here in Memphis with the Boys and Girls Club for them to be a part of, for them to feel important about. And that's what it's really about, feeling like family.
Absolutely. It's very important. Like I mentioned previously, I was a kid, grew up in South Memphis, around a lot of people that do the same things the kids experience, and I could have went anyway, right? I grew up in an amazing household. My mom brought me in church Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I believe. But you spend a lot of time outside your household, so we gotta be additional support for these kids. And thankfully, I had a mentor. Track was my outlet. She found out that I was pretty dope at running track, and she didn't stop there when the season out. She stayed in my life. Actually, her husband was the founder of Streets Ministries, Ken Bennett.
Okay.
So Debbie Bennett was my mentor, and because of the way she sold in my life, I've been doing this kind of work for 30 years because it made a powerful impact on my life. So being in this seat and being able to show the kids, hey, I grew up like you did, and if you keep working hard and make some good decisions, then doors can open for you.
That's right. I gotta give it a hand clap. That is excellent right there. That's an excellent story. As we wrap up this interview, I definitely want you to make sure you give again how people can get in touch with you or get in touch with the Boys Club. And of course, we're going to put it on our Facebook and our website and everything else. And again, like I said, I'm just happy to have you here. I'm happy to be joining the team again.
Congratulations on the radio station.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I go by the name of Tate Jones on the microphone. Say it with me one time.
Tate Jones on the microphone.
And that'll do it right here. Power 104.1, the source, the new home of Southern Soul, Blues, and R&B. Right here in Memphis, Tennessee. All right.